Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. My name is Adrielle and I'm currently narrating a story of my life dating back from January 2016. In a previous episode, I talked about the month of March and how I found out about a blog that Caitlin wrote, basically detailing what she experienced with Brandon back in 2016 and 2017. Well, I did some digging on Caitlin and I found out a lot of stuff. And this episode, I am basically gonna talk about all the things I found out during that time. And so yeah, here it goes. So in the previous episode, I came across Caitlin's blog. I read it and I just knew that she was lying. So I had to do some digging on Caitlin and who she was, the nature of her and Brandon's relationship. How do they meet? I just had to know all this information. So I did some digging in the month of March, April, May, June, July. I'm really going to concentrate on those 4 months, even though I did some digging after that. So I did some digging and I found out a lot of information. So this will be part 1 of the things I found out about Caitlin. And yeah, so I basically started off from 2015 because I knew Brandon and Caitlin met in 2016, but I just thought it was important for me to just go over her social media from that time frame. So in 2015, this is what I found. So in 2015, Caitlin was dating this college basketball player from a different university. They would exchange flirty tweets amongst each other and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, this is someone she was seeing. By the time it got to like beginning of 2016, I kind of didn't see them interacting as much, or probably, yeah, I don't think they were interacting at all. So that kind of let me know that whatever she had going on with this guy kind of had fizzled out. So yeah. Fast forward to March 2016. March 2016, I started to notice that Caitlin and Nami were interacting on Twitter. So what would typically happen would be that Caitlin would always respond to Nami's tweets. So Nami could tweet something like, oh, I love Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't know, something random like that. Caitlin would respond and say, oh no, honey mustard is the best sauce, or whatever. Like anytime Nami would have a tweet, Caitlin would always respond to his tweets. And the next thing you know, they would have a thread of tweets together. So it kind of was given that she liked Nami because everything that Nami was like tweeting about, she just had to be in the conversation of his tweets. So I remember just thinking to myself, March 2016, Nami and Caitlin are interacting. At this time, Nami was still in college. Caitlin was in college. Brandon had graduated from college. Stephanie had graduated as well. Stephanie and Brandon were together. I'm doing the math. I'm thinking to myself, I believe that Brandon met Caitlin through Nami. So I'm like, I really do think that Brandon met Caitlin through Nami. So that's one of the first things I found out. And I thought that was interesting. Now, I do want to say this. All the things I found out in 2020, they were mostly, how can I say this? They're like a hypothesis. So what I basically did was I gathered all this information, gathered all this data to come up with the hypothesis of what was going on between Brandon and Caitlin. Now, what ends up happening is later on, I do get some more information that basically confirms my hypothesis. So yeah. April 2016, Brandon and Stephanie are still together, but that's when I started to notice that Caitlin was liking Brandon's Instagram posts on Instagram. So she's interacting with Nami March 2016 on Twitter. She's liking Brandon's post April 2016 on Instagram. So I'm thinking to myself, was she using Nami to get to Brandon? Now, mind you, Brandon is in a full-fledged relationship with Stephanie. His relationship with Stephanie wasn't hidden. They did have posts of each other on social media, so it wasn't like no one knew that they were in a relationship. But I did think that was interesting that Caitlin started liking Brandon's post April 2016. Another thing I found on April 2016 was on Instagram, not only was she like very interactive with Nami, there were these two other college athletes that she was very interactive with. Like the same way she was interacting with Nami and like constantly wanted to be in his tweets and their conversation, she was doing the same thing to these two guys. So I'm thinking to myself, Nami, these two college athletes, and she's liking Brandon's post on Instagram. Is she building a roster, right? That's what I'm thinking in my head. Is she building a roster? And whoever will give her girlfriend energy, that's the person she's going to latch on. That's what I'm thinking. The first comment I had seen of Caitlyn on Brandon's Instagram page was July 2016, right? So July 2016, Caitlyn comments on Brandon's Instagram photo. So it went from liking his picture in April 2016 to now I'm commenting under his post, July. And the comment was basically about his gym shorts. Brandon took a picture of himself at the gym working out. I think he had just finished working out. And she said, "Oh, I like your shorts." And then he responded, "Thank you," or whatever. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. We get some information. August 2016, Caitlyn tweeted about Brandon on her Twitter. And the tweet was basically, what was the tweet? It was, now I will say the sidebar, y'all. I did not know I was going to be narrating my story on YouTube. So some of the receipts that I saw back then, I don't have it, but I will try to post the ones that I do have. So August 2016, Caitlyn tweets about Brandon, and the tweet was something about, "Oh, Brandon, you, Brandon," something like that. She has that tweet. So it goes from April 2016, she's liking his post. July 2016, she's commenting on his IG post. August 2016, she's tweeting about him, mentioning him on her tweet. August 30th, y'all, Caitlyn posted a tweet about Brandon. The tweet was basically, "I love my boyfriend at Brandon Moore." That was basically what the tweet was about. I thought that was interesting. So now I'm saying, okay, by August 2016, Brandon and Caitlyn were in a relationship. Now, I'm thinking about Stephanie. If you can recall, I said as of April 2016, Stephanie and Brandon were in a relationship. But I'm going to push it to June 2016. And the reason why I'm pushing it to June 2016 is because I did see a picture of Brandon, Stephanie, and two other friends together as of June. So I'm just guessing they were still together. So if Brandon and Stephanie were together June 2016, and Caitlyn's tweeting by the end of August that Brandon's her boyfriend. So now I'm thinking the timeline between Caitlyn and Brandon and Stephanie is super tight. The overlapping is really, really overlapping, right? So I said, you know what? Let me just continue to look at what I can see on the internet. September 7, Caitlyn tweeted, this is what she tweeted, right? "Brandon is coming back to me this weekend," and Nami liked the tweet. So she tweeted about Brandon being her boyfriend. She's also tweeting that Brandon was coming to visit her in Oklahoma. So now I do want to mention, sidebar, that at this time, Brandon had moved back to Atlanta and Nami was still in college. Now, for the sake of the story, Nami went to a college in Tennessee, just for the sake of the story, right? So while Nami was in college, Brandon was back in Atlanta. Brandon would come and visit Nami in Tennessee. And from there on, from Tennessee, he would go to Oklahoma. Now, I don't know if he would drive to Oklahoma or flying there, but he would visit Caitlyn. So now let me give you a little backstory of Brandon after college, right? So Brandon graduated college in 2015. He stayed behind because he was in a graduate program and he was also working in their athletics department. He convinced Stephanie to stay behind as well, and they were living together in an apartment. By the time it was May 2016, Brandon moved back to Atlanta, right? He moved back to Atlanta, but Nami, which is his younger brother, he is still in college. So by the time it was a fall semester, Nami went back to school, which was in Tennessee, for the sake of the story. And what Brandon would do, Brandon would go and visit Nami in Tennessee. And then from Tennessee, he would go and visit Caitlin in Oklahoma. So that was like that type of arrangement that he had going on. So when she tweeted that, hey, Brandon's coming to me or coming to see me this weekend, you know, that he was visiting her, right? September 28, 2016, Nami had a tweet, and I'm gonna read the tweet, and I'm gonna actually post this too on the video. It says, as long as my future wife is stylish, I'm happy, LOL. Caitlin retweeted it with a response, and her response was, call me Mrs. Moore. Now, I thought that was weird because why would you leave that type of comment on Brandon's brother's tweet when you're dating Brandon? You know, that was kind of weird, right? So it kind of reminded me of how she low-key was flirting with Nami back in April and March of 2016. So I'm looking at the tweet, right? And someone liked it. I just decided, let me just click on the like. I clicked on the like, y'all. It was Stephanie. Stephanie liked that tweet. So in that moment, I was shocked. I was like, what? Stephanie knows about Caitlin? Like, what? I didn't know. So now I'm thinking, let me go to Stephanie's Twitter to see her tweets during that time, which was August, September 2016. When it comes to Stephanie's tweets, I am not going to post it on the video because I want to protect her. I feel like the only reason why she's in this story is because she dated Brandon during the time where Caitlin was trying to move on to him. And, you know, and besides that, she probably may not be in this story, even though she does play a role in it. I kind of don't want to like really put her out there. So I am not going to post her tweets on the video, but I will read it though. And here they are. So I'm going to start from August 29, 2016. She had a tweet that says, we have to let go of the life we have planned to accept the one that is waiting for us. So that was very interesting. Probably like 2 weeks after that, y'all, she had another tweet, and this is what it says. It says, the Formation tour couldn't have come at a better time in my life. Now, if you know about that Formation tour, it was surrounded by the Lemonade album. That was very telling. Her next tweet, y'all, was really what got to me. She quotes Beyonce. She says, ashes to ashes, dust to side chicks. And then the crown and the bee emoji at Beyonce, the Formation tour. So I saw that. I'm like, yo, is Stephanie confirming what I'm believing, that Caitlin was Brandon's side chick while he was with Stephanie? Because why would she tweet that? Like, why would she tweet that? So I'm like, I honestly believe that Stephanie is confirming that while she was with Brandon, Caitlin was moving on to Brandon, you know? So I'm like, okay, it seems like she's confirming that Caitlin was a side chick. So I'm gonna go to the next tweet. She had another tweet in September that says, when people play you for a fool. She had another tweet, some people may never change. And I'm like, yo, I do believe she's talking about Brandon. I believe she's talking about Brandon. And for her to like that tweet of Caitlin, it was very telling. So I see that, and then I remember just going back to the tweet of where Caitlin had posted about Brandon. I think it was the first one, right? I looked at the tweet and two people liked it. It was Nami and Stephanie. So I'm like, okay, now Stephanie was fully aware that Caitlyn and Brandon had something going on. And then her tweets, something happened, y'all. Something happened. Now, I would say this. When I found out that through my research, I remember thinking in my head, why is Stephanie liking Caitlyn's post? Especially if it's a situation where Caitlyn could have been the side chick. Why is she liking her post? Anyways, so I go back to Caitlyn's Twitter. In the month of September, y'all, she just kept on tweeting about Brandon, about the relationship. She just kept on tweeting. I remember there's even one tweet, I think by the end of September, she had a tweet that she wanted to start a YouTube channel with Brandon. And in my head, I'm like, girl, didn't you just meet this guy? Like, you want to start a YouTube channel? And like, she was just head over heels. I don't know what Brandon was doing to her. He did something to her because this girl was hooked. She was hooked on him. Apparently they had a Snapchat where they were posting their relationship as well. There were posts on Instagram on her end and his end. But I noticed that Caitlyn was the one doing the most. Like, she was doing a lot of tweeting about Brandon. Like, she wanted to make it obvious or wanted to make it known that she was in a relationship with Brandon. Same thing in the month of October. A lot of tweets about the relationship. A lot of tweets. Oh, I love my boyfriend. He's so amazing. Oh my goodness. I'm so lucky. Oh, my boyfriend. Oh, I'm so lucky. Like, so many tweets about Brandon. Like, Brandon could do no wrong. Just so many things about him and their relationship. Is like, yeah, whatever. And so, from all the stuff that they posted, which was on their Twitter, Instagram, and their Snap, there was a collage video, and the video was basically pictures of them and videos of their snaps, and that video was what went viral. So apparently from that video going viral, Brandon and Caitlyn had garnered a lot of followers on social media, and they became this like interracial couple. Now, I would say this, I was telling myself that I didn't even know that happened. I never saw Caitlyn and Brandon on my timeline, so I'm glad I didn't. So yeah, they went viral. The video went viral. They had garnered a lot of followers from their relationship, and people had started calling them relationship goals, that they want their type of relationship, that they wish to have a love story like theirs and stuff like that. So yeah, in the month of October, I do need to talk about this. This was very interesting. I remember seeing a tweet from Caitlyn's friend. It was a video of Caitlyn's friend, Caitlyn, Brandon, and Nami. They were both, all four of them, were playing basketball at Caitlyn's school's gym. And I think in the clip of the video, they try to make it like a love and basketball type of moment. The friend posted that in October, sometime in October, right? What stood out to me was that Nami was there. Now, if you recall, I said Nami's school was in Tennessee. Caitlyn went to school in Oklahoma, right? So in my head, I'm thinking, why is Nami in another state during a school day? Like, there's no midterms, there's no break in October, there's no holidays or whatever. Why is Nami in a different school, in a different state during a school day? And another thing I noticed is from the viral video and from some of the posts I was seeing, Nami was with Brandon and Caitlyn a lot too. So I'm wondering, why was he always with them? Now, if you recall, I felt it in my spirit back in 2019 that he was Lily's father. So now I'm thinking, what was going on with all three of them while they were together? Now, my mind went to a particular place. I'm not going to say it. But I just thought it was interesting that Nami was always in the picture, like always around them. Now, I do want y'all to remember this because it comes back later on in the story. Okay? Now, as far as Brandon's Twitter was concerned, the Twitter page that Brandon had at the time, that was created September 2017. So I believe he deleted his previous Twitter because of the whole baby situation. So I couldn't really see a lot of his tweets from his past Twitter page, but some of his tweets were quoted with the response, so I was able to see those. It wasn't really a whole lot. It wasn't really given a whole lot of information as well. So yeah, I couldn't really see so much of the Twitter activity as far as Brandon was concerned because his old page was deleted. Now, as far as Brandon and Caitlin's Instagram was concerned, a lot of stuff was deleted, for obvious reasons. So I couldn't find a lot of pictures or any of that, right? Now, I was able to find some pictures on Twitter, but Instagram, there was nothing. Brandon wiped out Caitlin from his page. Caitlin also wiped out Brandon from her page, right? But what I decided to do was that I was going to look at the comment section, right? That was what I was going to do. So I'm like, okay, I found out by August 2016 they're in a relationship. Let me go back to around that time and look at their comment sections and kind of compare what was said in the comments, right? Like I said to y'all, July 2016 was the first time Caitlin had commented under Brandon's post, right? The first time I saw a comment from Brandon on Caitlin's post, that was August 2016, and that was when she was about to start her semester. She posted a picture of her basketball headshots, right? And Brandon commented on it, right? So I'm looking at the comments from August and September and October. Brandon commented on Caitlin's post, but it wasn't a whole lot. And even the ones he did comment on, it wasn't giving girlfriend type of vibe to me, okay? What I gathered from the comments. He did have a love emoji, but it wasn't like, this is my girlfriend type of energy. Whereas Caitlin, on the other hand, she made sure she was in Brandon's comments. She was in there. She was doing the most. She was team too much when it came to Brandon's comments. She wanted everyone to know, yo, this is my boyfriend, right? And Brandon would like her comments. He would respond with a heart emoji. But yeah, the energy Caitlin was giving was not the same energy that Brandon was giving, right? So that was the nature of their whole Instagram post. The month of November, that was when things started to get quiet. Now, like I told y'all, on Twitter and even Instagram, Caitlin was doing the most when it came to Brandon, right? By the time it was November, I barely saw any Brandon tweets on Caitlin's page. I did not see any Caitlin comment under Brandon's post either. It was really quiet. And the same thing for Brandon too. I didn't see him commenting, or maybe he left one or so, or maybe she left one too, but that had to have been first week in November or so. But in the month of November, the social media interaction, lovey-dovey-ish that was going on between Brandon and Caitlin had really slowed down. It really slowed down. So that was very interesting. By December, y'all, the same thing. I did not see that lovey-dovey interaction that Caitlin was giving Brandon. I didn't see none of that too either in December. I remember probably in the beginning of December, Caitlin had a post. She was outside and this was IG. She had a post and she said, 1,000,000 reasons to be thankful, something like that. And I do remember also in October, she had tweeted a picture of herself and says, so many blessings and something like that, right? Now that particular post, Brandon didn't like it on IG. So there's something going on. That whole lovey-dovey, like I said, that whole lovey-dovey energy that Caitlin was giving and Brandon was reciprocating somehow or some way, it was dying down by November and December. Now, what I thought was interesting, y'all, the week of Brandon's birthday, a couple days before Brandon's birthday, Caitlin announces on social media that she's pregnant. I thought that was petty because you made sure to announce it right before his birthday. right? So Brandon's birthday comes around and Brandon has a birthday post. Caitlyn doesn't like the birthday post and she doesn't comment under his birthday post, right? Nami had a birthday post for Brandon. Caitlyn doesn't like it and she doesn't comment under it. And it's like, yo, you kind of low-key wanted to sabotage his birthday. And also, Brandon never mentioned anything about a child in his birthday post. Like, even like his post from December or November, there was nothing about a child. December 31st, 2016, Caitlyn tweets, I don't see myself as a single mom, more so a woman and child that God has a greater plan for. So she was just making it obvious with that tweet that her and Brandon were no longer together, right? Someone responds, y'all will have a very pretty baby. Praying that Brandon comes around soon for you and his baby. Love always wins. Now, at this time, y'all, Brandon and Caitlyn had gained some momentum on social media. Like I said, there were people who would constantly follow their relationship on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and basically rooting for them. They were their couple goals and stuff like that. January 3rd, 2017, Caitlyn posts a picture on Instagram of her ultrasound. Dear Angel, Mommy loves you so much already. I promise to give you the world, to love and protect you. Not all things are planned, but you will never be an accident. You are God's gift to me. I already can't wait to kiss your little lips, order a cake for your first birthday, or even buy you your first pair of basketball shoes. I promise to be your strength and your guidance. Anything of mine is yours. Grandma and Grandpa are already obsessed with you. I can't wait for you to be here with us. July 2nd. Another little green. My little mini-me. P.S. You already have so many babysitters, LOL, and so many gifts waiting upon your arrival. My heart can't love more than the love I have for you. Mommy loves you, sweetheart. Now, I thought that was interesting because in her blog, she said that her and Brandon chose to have a baby because they were so in love, and it wasn't a shock when the test came out positive. So how is she saying that all things are not planned and you'll never be an accident? Caitlyn, get your lives together. Caitlyn, which one is it? Was she planned or not? Was this parenthood planned or not? Okay. It's looking like it's not because Brandon left, right? So that was what happened for the first part of this research. What I thought was interesting was when I found out about Caitlyn in 2019 and I knew Brandon left, I thought Brandon left right before the baby was born, which was June 28th. So I'm thinking maybe he left May or April. No, come to find out, he left sometime November, December. And I can say it right now because I'm going to talk about it in the next episode. Brandon did get back with Caitlyn, right? Brandon did get back with Caitlyn, and then we know that Brandon eventually left. So Brandon left Caitlyn twice. I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that before. The dynamic between Nami and Caitlyn, it's fuzzy, but it's kind of confirming what I'm feeling about Nami being the father of Lily. Another thing I noticed is that she liked black guys, okay? She liked black guys, which I have no problem. Listen, you like what you like, right? But I did think it was interesting that her husband was white. So if you like black guys, why not marry who you like, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that in the next episode. So yeah, y'all, this is the first part of my future husband's obsessive ex-girlfriend. So next episode, I'm going to dive into 2017. I may dive into 2018 as well. So yeah, that will be part 2. If you are liking this story, please comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next time. Bye.